Okay, hi guys. Here's my video. So, how would I describe myself? I would say that I'm a problem solver. I like to see the big picture in any situation that I'm involved in and try to work towards whatever that shared goal is. If it's sort of on the unit, all of us working together towards patient care. In all the things that I've done in my life, I'm always looking at the big picture, whatever that might be. So it's a team approach and trying to look at ways that we can maximize what resources we have, and also so that we all can grow because of the experience, whoever's involved in that, whether that be like patient well-being or whether that be us evolving as people. That's always my goal, is that we maximize potential and use whatever we can towards that end. So I would say that that's probably one of my biggest strengths and how I would describe myself. Okay, clinical experience where something went right. So at Norristown, on the forensic unit, I would say that that was probably the best experience that I've had to date. Developing the therapeutic relationship with my patient helped me to work on my communication skills, as well as being able to spend time developing that relationship, which we so rarely get to do on like a med-surg unit. You get to spend that entire rotation with him, learning about him, and so learning about myself and him, how I can interact with him as a nurse in a professional, caring relationship, which is different because there's boundaries there, and that was something that I needed to learn, and just the integrity of my position as a nurse, really using that to gain his trust, so that I'm not just a friend sitting on the sofa with him, but I'm there for his well-being. So I'm able to assess his character strengths, and then during the whole rotations, kind of get him to acknowledge these good things inside of him and how he can use them to his own advantage. Dealing with his condition, which was schizophrenia, and also in that inhospitable environment, which it isn't a pleasant place to be. So finding some way that he can find joy and he can continue to grow as a person, and to do that in a professional capacity, was awesome. As far as bad experiences, conversely, it was also at on the mental health rotation, the community mental health. We did a teaching learning project, and I mean the project went fine. We kind of had a script. I did my bit at the end, and I feel like ultimately I learned something from it, but I realized that my own fears in public speaking, is difficult, but then also wanting to just stick to a script and not allow any divergence from that probably limited the experience of the people that were attending the group, which is the ultimate goal. And so it definitely gave me pause to sort of considering that communication is, paramount to me, and I want to be a good communicator. I realized at the end of that, after considering it, that it's not always what you say. You can communicate in a lot of ways, and just being quiet and listening is as much of a communicating to them that you care about them and what it is that they have to say. It's not always you talking to them, it's you listening, so active listening. So although it was a bad experience, it was a good experience too, because I'm better for it. And then lastly, what is something I'm most proud of? So I am a traveler. When I was married in my early 20s, I my husband and I restored an MG Midget, and we went cross country. We were married for not even a year. So that was a really interesting learning experience. I learned a lot about marriage. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned that I love nature. We camped the whole way. We had like backpacks on the back of the MG. And I got to see the beautiful United States, which was awesome. And really, since then, I have always loved to travel. So fast forward many years later, we ended up buying a 1968 37-foot sailboat. We gutted it and restored it. We had sailed for years, but nothing like this. And so we got it outfitted. We got it down to the Chesapeake. We sold our house and we set off for parts unknown. So we lived aboard for, I mean, we were traveling for about a year. We lived aboard for longer than that, but we went down the coast and then across to the Bahamas and down the Bahamian chain and then back up and back home, which really changed my life. I mean, not necessarily for the good right away, but ultimately, I'm here now because of the experience. I learned so much about myself and what I'm capable of, and what it is that I want out of this world, what it is that I want to do, how big the world is and yet how small, how all the people that you meet are going through the same things. They have the same kind of dreams and hopes and desires as we all do. We're not enemies. We are humans trying to be happy. And so it's impacted the way that I interact with everyone. I'm always mindful of the fact that this is another person who wants to be happy just like I want to be happy. And so when you can couch your communication coming from that perspective, you're humble and you're more able to see them for as they truly are and maybe be in a position to affect some good. So that's what I've got. So there's my video. Thank you.